Think you can trust your eyes? Think again. Did you just see a vase, or were those two faces staring back at you? This isn't just a fun puzzle, it's an optical illusion, cleverly designed to trick your brain into seeing something that isn't there, or missing something that is. They play with perception, challenging how we make sense of the world around us. So buckle up, because today we're counting down the top 14 most famous optical illusions. And trust me, by the end, you'll be second-guessing your own eyes. Ready to be fooled? Let's kick things off with the mind-bending Shepard Tables. Imagine two tables. One looks long and narrow, the other short and wide. But here's the twist, they're identical in size. Your brain automatically processes the angles and perspective cues, making the tables seem wildly different. It's like picking the bigger slice of pizza, only to realize it's just cut differently. This illusion reminds us how easily context can warp our perception. So how long did it take for you to believe they're the same size? At number 13, we step into the Ames room, where reality gets a little funky. One side of the room is much smaller than the other, but clever design tricks your brain into thinking it's a normal space. As a result, someone walking across it seems to shrink or grow dramatically. It's like a real-life funhouse mirror. Ever noticed how someone's presence can seem larger than life, even if they're physically smaller? This illusion shows how perspective shapes our understanding of size. Coming in at number 12 is the Ebbinghaus illusion. Picture two identical orange circles, one surrounded by larger circles, the other by smaller ones. Your brain instantly decides the one with bigger neighbors looks smaller. It's the same trick that makes a tiny dessert look massive on a small plate. This illusion proves size is all about context. So which orange circle looked bigger to you? At number 11, we've got the Knizia triangle, where your brain becomes an artist. At first glance, you see a bright white triangle floating in the middle of the image. But here's the kicker. There's no triangle at all. Instead, your brain connects the gaps between the surrounding shapes, creating something that isn't there. Ever jump to conclusions in a conversation because your brain filled in the blanks? That's this illusion in action. Did the triangle trick you? Rounding out the bottom half is the impossible trident. At first glance, it seems to have three prongs at the top, but as you follow them down, two magically vanish into one. Your depth perception simply can't process it. It's like trying to figure out one of those riddles where the answer is always unexpected. The impossible trident reminds us that sometimes things are just too good or too weird to be true. Did your brain try to make sense of it? Is it a vase or two faces? The Rubin Vase isn't just a fun brain teaser. It's a classic optical illusion by Danish psychologist Edgar Rubin. It perfectly demonstrates figure ground perception. Your brain flips between seeing the object and its background, but never both at once. Think about it. Ever heard someone say something with two meanings, leaving you unsure which to focus on? That's this illusion in action. It's also been used in psychology to study how humans prioritize visuals. At number 9, it's a reminder that what we focus on shapes our reality. So what do you see? A vase or faces? At number 8, meet the spinning dancer, a silhouette that spins endlessly. But which way? Some see her moving clockwise, others counterclockwise. This bistable illusion plays with how your brain interprets 2D motion. Ever been on a merry-go-round and couldn't tell if it's going forward or backward? That's the same mental tug-of-war. Some claim this illusion reveals if you're more creative, right brain, or logical, left brain. Whether true or not, try focusing on her feet. Can you make her change direction? It's a brain workout that leaves you questioning your perception. Number 7 is the Mueller-Lyer illusion, a trick of two identical lines that look different lengths thanks to arrowheads pointing in or out. It's like watching a straight road appear to shrink as it stretches into the distance. Our brains, used to interpreting depth, fill in gaps that don't exist. Ever bought furniture online and been shocked by how it looked way bigger or smaller in person? That's Muller-Lyer messing with your perception. It's a perfect example of how context skews what we think we see. Still wrapped up in these illusions? You won't believe what's coming next. If you're loving the ride, smash that like button. Let's see how many of you are really paying attention. At 6, we've got the dizzying cafe wall illusion. Straight parallel lines that look slanted thanks to offset black and white tiles. This illusion, named after a cafe in Bristol, England, confuses the brain's attempts to process contrast and alignment. Imagine sipping coffee while your eyes argue about what's straight. Ever stepped onto a checkered floor and felt off balance? That's this illusion playing tricks on you. It's proof that even simple patterns can fool our complex visual systems. Ever spotted black dots flickering where you're not looking? That's the scintillating grid, white lines intersecting on a dark background, where black dots appear at the intersections, but vanish when you focus on them. It's like your peripheral vision is playing tricks on you. Scientists say it's all about your brain struggling to process high contrast patterns. But it makes you wonder, if a simple grid can fool you, what else are you missing in life's periphery? It's like focusing on the big picture while fascinating details slip by unnoticed. So how many dots did you catch or miss? Picture 2 yellow lines stretched across train tracks. The top one looks longer, right? But surprise, they're the same size. That's the Ponzo illusion, which tricks your brain into using perspective to judge size. It's like seeing the moon on the horizon. It looks massive, but isn't any bigger than when it's overhead. This illusion taps into how we interpret depth, which is handy for survival but misleading here. Ever ordered furniture online, thinking it'd fit perfectly, only to realize it's way too big or hilariously small? Blame illusions like Ponzo for fooling your perception of scale. Do you see a young woman gazing away, or an old lady with a hooked nose? This is the boring figure, one of the most famous dual image illusions. Your brain flips between 2 interpretations, but struggles to see both simultaneously. It's like when 2 people view the same event and come away with completely different stories. Some say spotting the young woman means optimism, while noticing the old lady reflects wisdom. Whether or not that's true, this illusion is a great reminder that perspective changes everything. So who did you see first? Did it shift the second time? At first glance, the colors seem to swirl endlessly. But here's the twist. It's a completely static image. Your brain, overwhelmed by contrasting patterns and vibrant colors, tricks you into seeing motion. Neurons fire signals so quickly they overlap, creating the illusion of movement. Ever felt like life's spinning out of control, even when you're perfectly still? This illusion captures that feeling, a reminder that perception isn't always reality. Can you stop the motion? Probably not, but it's fascinating to watch your brain try. And at number 1, the internet-breaking debate: is the dress blue and black or white and gold? Back in 2015, this illusion caused a global uproar, dividing opinions and sparking scientific studies on color perception. The answer? Both are correct. Your brain interprets the lighting in the image differently. Some see it as shadowed, making it blue and black, while others see it in bright light, making it white and gold. Ever argued fiercely only to find out both sides were valid? That's this illusion in a nutshell, proof that perception shapes reality. So what did you see? And how long did it take to convince others you were right? So, did these top 14 illusions mess with your mind? Or are you still convinced your eyes never lie? It's crazy how these simple visuals can make us question everything we see. Which illusion left you scratching your head the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, why not challenge your friends? Share this with them and see if they fall for the same tricks you did. And if you're into mind-bending content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss out. Let's keep the illusions coming.